Sister wives, David Woolley's stubbornness could cause issues in his marriage to Christine Brown. Is there trouble in paradise, dear loves? Welcome to USA Drama. Please do subscribe my YouTube channel. Sister Wives star Christine Brown is happily married, but David Woolley's stubbornness could eventually lead to trouble in paradise. Christine is a former polygamist who was once married to Codys Brown. She was Codys' third wife, and they had 6 children together. In 2021, after 27 years of marriage, Christine decided to walk away from Codys and the plural family. She soon started online dating, and it wasn't long before she met and married David. While her first wedding was a subdued affair attended by Codys' other wives, Christine and David's wedding was a big event that aired. Since getting married, newlyweds Christine and David have seemed genuinely happy together, but his stubbornness could prove to be a problem. Sister Wives Season 19 begins from when Christine first started dating David to after they moved in together. It was clear from early on that Christine and David were more compatible than she ever was with Codys. The mother of 6 never liked having to share her husband and is much happier being in a monogamous relationship. While she's in love with David, she does sometimes grow frustrated with his stubbornness. Sister Wives Season 19 premiered in early September 2024, and Christine and David's whirlwind romance took center stage during the first half of the season. Christine met David soon after leaving Codys, and they dated for less than a year before moving in together. It was surprising because Christine always seemed too conservative to ever live with a man out of wedlock. It wasn't long before Christine and David were engaged and then married in a televised wedding that aired on TLC. David initially expressed no interest in appearing on the show, but was convinced to change his mind. Before meeting Christine, David was a lonely widower with 8 children and 10 grandchildren, so he was very comfortable with her huge family. In addition to Christine's 6 children, Janelle and her 5 children are major parts of his new life. The new season started filming before Christine even met David, so fans got to watch the entire timeline of their love story. During the second half of the season, Christine and David moved in together, and her children got to know her new man. Christine grew up in a polygamous family. Christine's family is very important in the community, which is a big part of why Codys wanted to marry her. Even though she grew up in the lifestyle, the Sister Wives Season 19 star didn't thrive in it. She was a romantic who didn't like having to share her husband. Now that she's in a monogamous marriage, Christine has no intention of going back to a plural marriage. She and David intend to live in a traditional marriage. Christine's first wedding was attended by her husband's other 2 wives. She didn't even feel like she could celebrate and be happy because the wedding wasn't really about her. At her second wedding, Christine was thrilled to be marrying a man who was all hers. Christine and David's October 2023 wedding was documented for a 2-part Sister Wives special. Christine wore an off-the-shoulder wedding dress, choosing to show off her matching tattoo with David, who wore an all-black suit. Christine and David were surrounded by their families on their big day. Christine's 6 children with Codys approve of her marriage to David, who says he has no intention of replacing their father. On the night before the wedding, some of her daughters reflected on their mother's wedding. Aspen Brown expressed excitement, and her younger sisters, Truly Brown and Isabel Brown, agreed. Christine's other daughter, Mykelti Padron, says she's already accepted David as her stepfather. He's obsessed with her, and so it's nice to see that. And he should be. She's awesome, Isabel said. During a recent episode of Sister Wives Season 19, David's famous stubbornness was on full display. The whole family was hanging out in the backyard during a fun gathering. When a frisbee was thrown into the neighbor's yard, David wanted to climb over the fence to get it. Christine didn't want him climbing the fence, so as not to set a bad example for the children. Though she was adamant, David ignored her and climbed the fence to retrieve the frisbee. It was a small moment, but it was instructive for Christine, who realized she had more control over her household during her marriage to Codys. During her first marriage, her husband wasn't around often, so she got her way more often than not. That being said, Christine still seems happier with David than she was in her first marriage. She'd take his stubbornness over Codys' neglect any day of the week. The scene ends with Christine laughing off David's frisbee incident. Christine was terrified of being alone when she left Cody, thinking she was too old to meet someone, but and the universe rewarded her bravery. Christine found the true love that Cody was never able to give her. That being said, Christine should work to protect her marriage. Sister Wives Season 19 has been a game changer for the entire Brown family, and after watching recent episodes, I think Cody Brown needs to repair his relationship with his children as quickly as possible. While Cody, who spent the last 30-plus years married to his original trio of wives, has been adamant that he doesn't want to extend an olive branch to the estranged kids in his family, it's time to mend fences. Throughout Sister Wives Season 19, viewers have seen Cody moving through some of the toughest times of his life, but his children haven't been there supporting him. With Cody, who was married to Christine Brown, Janelle Brown, and Mary Brown for years before meeting his only remaining wife, Robin Brown, choosing to remain stoic about how he feels when it comes to his kids' disinterest, the family patriarch has made a baffling decision. Cody's 18 children, who come from all 4 of his former and current wives, range in ages, lifestyles, and levels of interest in engaging with him. While some are still maintaining a relationship, others have stopped engaging with him completely over the years, and with Cody hurt by everything, it's time for a change. Throughout the run of Sister Wives, Cody's relationships with his kids have been all over the map. While some earlier seasons saw Cody and his children able to come together peacefully, the kids were much younger and didn't realize the extent of Cody's behavior. Throughout their young lives, Cody's kids with Christine, Janelle, and Mary have all come to understand more about their parents, realizing that they've made mistakes and had tough times over the years. While some of those mistakes have been forgiven, others remain an issue in the Brown family overall, and Cody's behind the majority of them. In recent years, Cody's issues with his older kids have become far more difficult as he's poured his love and attention into his children with Robin, withheld it from others. The majority of the issues behind Cody's strained family relationships comes from the fact that he's chosen to put his kids from his original trio of wives on the back burner while spending time with his kids with Robin. Consistently not showing up or choosing them, Cody's had problems justifying his behavior over the years, and has ultimately tried to make the kids look like they're the real issue. While I expected Sister Wives to give Cody a different edit throughout its currently airing season, things have been fairly honest about his behavior and the way his children are reacting towards it. Though Cody himself was given a bit more of a victim edit than expected earlier in the season, things have slowly been changing on the show. As Cody has learned more about the problems his children are facing, especially when it comes to feeling like he doesn't care for them or pay them attention, he seemed to realize that he has more opportunity to fix the problem. Though he hasn't taken steps forward to do so, Cody's portrayal on Sister Wives has been interesting to watch as he's learned more about what's going wrong in his life. Instead of finding himself struggling to understand what's happening or place blame, Cody's been shown to want to be more attentive with his family, bringing his children back into the fold as he rebuilds after his difficult divorces. While Cody may be struggling overall, it's been clear that his relationships with his kids are some of the toughest losses for him to swallow, and seeing that on screen has helped. Watching Cody begin to realize that things need to change was a good start, and now that Sister Wives has reached the point where Garrison Brown's passing has come to light, it's possible that he could be motivated to make an even bigger change to move forward. Throughout Sister Wives Season 19, viewers have been waiting in a dark sense of anticipation as it grew closer to the point where Garrison's tragic passing occurred in the family's lives. Though details haven't been widely shared on Sister Wives, the most recent episode recognized the tragedy and didn't hold back with emotion. Cody and Robin, who spent the majority of the episode together, were open about how difficult it felt being estranged from Garrison at the time of his death. While Cody was a bit more reserved than some viewers expected, it was clear that he was overwhelmed with grief and emotion about losing his son. The family patriarch spent time in the episode sharing his feelings, which could create a major shift in the way he's thinking about his relationship with his kids overall. Garrison's passing could push Cody to consider exploring rebuilding his relationships with his family as a whole. Although I think Cody has a lot to change before he can successfully become the father he's always felt. I also think starting is the most difficult part. After seeing the tragic loss of Garrison on Sister Wives, it's become clear that the Brown family needs to find solace in each other more than ever. While I do believe the family will come back together for a time, it's on Cody to try and keep his family moving back to a place where they can support one another through good times, bad times, and everything else in between. Now, I think Cody needs to reevaluate his life in a way that makes it clear he's not going to put some family members over others, even if that's difficult for him. While Robin's the kind of person who needs validation and attention consistently, Cody needs to ensure that his family feels secure in him as things continue to change in their lives. Despite the tragedy that could bring them back together, the Brown family needs each other more than ever in this tough moment. Sister Wives, Cody needs to step up for his kids like the father he is. Sister Wives Season 19 has brought the Brown family's most tragic moment into the spotlight. And while everyone in the family is mourning the loss of Garrison Brown in their own way, it feels like Robin Brown hasn't learned what she was meant to from the tough experience. After losing a member of the family so suddenly, viewers were struck with pain for the Brown family and curious about how Sister Wives Season 19 would choose to cover the tragedy. Though it wasn't an easy time for the family to share, the Browns chose to allow cameras into their grief. Cody Brown, who shared Garrison with his ex-wife Janelle Brown, was open about what he was feeling, along with Robin. But it was clear that there was an element of the story missing for Cody's only remaining wife. After dealing with the pain and fallout from his divorces throughout the last few years, losing his son was a tough blow for Cody, who's been tackling his betrayal as head-on as possible. Throughout the most recent episode of Sister Wives, Cody and Robin revealed their feelings about what was happening, but Robin's grief was concerning to watch play out on screen. Although the news has been widespread since his 2024 passing, the loss of Garrison was finally introduced on Sister Wives Season 19 during the second half of its long season. Garrison, who passed suddenly and tragically during the early months of 2024, was the son of Janelle and Cody, though he'd grown up with siblings from each of Cody's former wives. At just 25 years old, the family was shaken to the core by Garrison's death and found it difficult to speak about, in part because of their sadness, and in part because it would be documented on the show. Garrison's passing was particularly difficult on Janelle and Cody, albeit in different ways. Janelle was close with her son, and the pair shared a sweet bond that made it clear how heavily he relied on her throughout his adulthood. For Cody, things were far more complicated. After Robin and Garrison struggled to see eye to eye about several family issues, including Cody's strange COVID-19 rules, Garrison became estranged from his father and Robin. Though there had been some attempts at reconciliation, they hadn't been successful prior to Garrison's passing. The grief surrounding his passing was immense and heavy for the entire family. Although some of the aftermath remains to be seen, Robin's behavior doesn't appear to have changed in the wake of Garrison's passing. While Cody and Robin were open about the loss they were dealing with on Sister Wives, Robin's me-first attitude was quick to come to the forefront during the show's most recent heartbreaking episode. While Robin was trying to help Cody move through his grief and process her own, things became too difficult for Robin to focus outside herself for long. Robin consistently made Cody's tragic loss about her, ignoring the issues that had existed between her and Garrison. After seeing how Robin's attempts to support Cody through loss are more about her than about him or Garrison, it's clear to me that she hasn't been able to step back and learn from experiencing something so harrowing. Robin needs to reevaluate her relationship with Cody in a different light, working to try and understand how she can improve as a partner. Making every event about her is Robin's strong suit, but the Sister Wives star owes it to herself and her family to try and escape her selfish streak. Robin needs to rethink her priorities before it's too late.